So how's it going, YouTube? Like I said in the last video, we're gonna get going on this again. One of the things that really made me think about it was Diamond's passing. I want to get a lot of these stories done. You know, like I said, beginning, my kids and grandkids can watch this. And it's kind of the story of my life and the way I remember things. And, Diamond passing, it was so sudden. He wasn't even sick, nothing. So, your time on this earth is limited. And when your ticket gets punched, it's time to go. So, I figure I'll go ahead and really start getting these videos going. And try and get caught up. But if you went back, you go back and watch the videos, but I had to figure out where I was at. But it's been like a year since I made a video. So anyway, we had moved away from Burton Road and back over by 94th, which was actually 65th Street. The house we lived on 94th was at the front on the main road, and then we lived in the neighborhood behind it the second time. Now, this is 1985, so I'm 12. And the house we moved into, on one side of us was a friend of my sister's from school named Mike Miller, and he'll come up later in other stories. Once I really become a teenager and get rolling with my hooligan-ness. I'll figure it out. Don't need that shit anyway, do I? But anyway, and then the kid that lived next door to us, I think he was a year or two younger than me, but he was the first person I ever met with the name Travis, besides myself, of course. So that was kind of neat. Now I've known probably 6 or 7, and I work with one now. So Travis is not a very, popular name. So, anyway, 65th really wasn't too, there isn't a whole lot of memories. We did live right up next to the power lines. They have a big easement there where all the high voltage power lines go through. Well, that was kind of just a big field out there. You go out and play. So we spent a lot of time out in that field. And that field was the first time that I'd seen a full-size dirt bike. It was like a Honda 250 or something. The kid was riding it around. We were riding our bikes. And that was the coolest thing I ever seen in my entire life. And I remember the bike was taller than me at the time. Like I said, I've been short my entire life, so it doesn't take much. So, anyway, there were some other kids out there with their dad, and they had a little, I think it was a Yamaha 50 or something. And he was letting all the kids ride on that thing, because, back in the day, it didn't matter. You just did. So, anyway, so I got to ride this 50cc motorbike around. And that was fun. So, like I said, my sister was still dating Danny on and off and whatever during this time. But the biggest thing that happened over there And the biggest thing that changed my life was one day I come home from school and I noticed Mom's car's in the driveway. I was like, that's kind of weird. Mom's never home because, I mean, we were latchkey kids. I got home first. And then Cherie came home about half an hour later or so. And then Mom and Dad didn't get home until like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night. So it was really weird for Mom to be at the house. So anyway, I go in the house, and it was a spring day, I believe. And come in the house, I walked in, opened the refrigerator, said hi to my mom, and reached in and grabbed a Sprite, because I loved Sprites when I was a kid. It was about the only soda I could drink. So anyway, I get the Sprite out, crack it open, take a big drink of it, and then I get the horrible sentence that no kid wants to hear. So, what would you think if me and your dad got a divorce? Well, being an old aluminum can, I got mad and crushed it. And boo-hooed and cried and all that kind of shit. You know, my parents were getting a divorce. So, it affected me more than I thought it would. Or even more than I thought it did at the time. Looking back, I can see how it affected me and how it changed me. My parents getting a divorce. And things going all fucking wonky. I didn't think about it at the time, but now that I'm older, I can think about it, and I'm like, yeah, that did change a lot of shit. I guess it kind of made me feel like nobody gave a shit, because later on it was like nobody was giving a shit because nobody was around. So anyway, we moved out of that house. Like I said, that 65th wasn't anything major. I think I'm clouded by my parents getting divorced at that time. But so we moved from there over to the blue duplex. All of us. For some reason, my dad had nowhere else to go. So it was a little 2-bedroom apartment over in Orchards off 112. And I had 1 bedroom. My mom and my sister had another bedroom. There's 1 bathroom. And Dad was on the couch. And I didn't think it was that long. My sister said he was there for like 6 weeks. Which that's really weird. I mean, they were getting divorced and they were still fighting. I remember that much of it. But, this is where I really kind of went off the rails at this house. The little first part of it wasn't bad because we were all still kind of a family. You know, Mom and Dad was sleeping on the couch and Mom was in the bedroom, and they were fighting back and forth all the time. So it was kind of rough. And so one day they ended up, the story I heard was the phone rang, my mom picked it up, and she says, I can't talk right now. And my dad jumped up and yelled, this is your effing house and you can talk to whoever the fuck you want to. And he stormed out of the house, and that's the last time he was there to live. So this is where, like I said, I really started going off the rails. I know this is just kind of a quick video and there's not really a whole lot of stories in it, but this is the setup. I guess you could say this will be the setup video for my juvenile delinquency. Because like I said, I really run off the rails. Coming up, there's some fights that I got into, rope swings, falling out of trees, trying to kill myself 3 or 4 times on bicycles and skateboards, and then meeting my best friend. So, and then really going off the rails. So stay tuned. I'm gonna try and keep these videos going because, like I said, life's short. You never know when everything's gonna stop. You know, I've said it for a long time. When you get up in the morning, look at your bed, because you might not make it back. So with that, I'm going to leave it kind of on a low note for this video. And y'all have a good one. And like I said, I'm going to try and really start getting these videos back out and get them moving. So y'all have a good one, and I'll see you later.